Tonight's Newsmaker is dynamic, outspoken, and determined to lead the Piedmont Triad's largest institution of higher learning in a new direction, and he's only been on the job a couple of months. Now, earlier this month, Dr. Frank Gilliam left UCLA, where he worked for nearly 30 years as a professor, and most recently as Dean of the School of Public Affairs. Now he's the new Chancellor at UNC-Greensboro, and as I found out recently, he's taking a different ride.
This is a world-class university. It has world-class programming. I think this community ought to be proud of that. Yeah, it's like cops.
It's okay if we ride with you?
Yeah, come on.
All right, here we go.
I think I've got...
All right, I like this.
I think I've got insurance. So we have one prime directive, which is don't run over the students.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
This one, we're going to give you a ride. Hello?
You want to ride?
Come on, we'll give you a ride.
You could call this UNC-Greensboro Chancellor Frank Gilliam's interaction vehicle.
Page where you're from. It's one of the ways that I get to spend time with the students. Right. And the staff, by the way, and the faculty. Yep. What year are you?
I'm a junior.
Yeah, what's your major?
Speech pathology.
Ah, good major.
It's a different way of learning the lay of the land, but there's a lot of ground to cover, literally and figuratively. The good news, enrollment's up this fall for the second straight year. This campus now serves 19,000 plus students, meaning there's more money to, among other things, hire faculty. But the biggest challenge you face as chancellor right now is
the dramatic reduction in state support over the last 20 years has meant that we have to find other ways to increase revenue. And we don't want to do it, all things being equal, by raising tuition.
And that includes saving money. The Union Square campus going up on Gate City Boulevard is, Gilliam says, a great example of getting entrepreneurial. UNCG, the city, A&T University, GTCC, and Cone Health have joined forces to house joint nursing healthcare programs here. Are you worried about the future of a liberal arts education at a taxpayer-subsidized university like this one?
Well, I think you probably ask people in the Research Triangle and in Silicon Valley what kinds of people they're starting to look for. And a series of studies that are now showing that they're looking for people with liberal arts degrees. Why? Because they found it useful if people can think critically, if people can write, if people can communicate.
No doubt Gilliam will be involved in a lot of communication about three big issues facing campus, including possibly changing the name of the main auditorium, currently named after a known segregationist.
We need to have an educational presentation or display in that lobby that gives a full reading of Mr. Aycock's history. Right. And his contribution on the one hand to public higher education in North Carolina, and his contributions to segregation on the other.
Personally, how do you feel about the name change? Well, or are you at that point yet?
It's not about what I personally feel. My job is to do what's in the best interest of the university.
Then there's the new $91 million recreation center set to open soon. It's unclear how the university will pay to operate it. Will this rec center be fully operational when it's open?
It will be operational when it's open. Fully operational is a question of speculation. I mean, there are in many ways no ceiling on what we might be able to do with that facility because it's state of the art. Right. But we will need to find support for it, and we're actively seeking that.
Also in the speculation stage, whether the university will continue to play men's basketball in the too large Greensboro Coliseum.
Maybe one of your viewers would like to contribute a 5,500 seat on-campus arena, and I would entertain that.
There you go, with naming rights and everything.
We can name it after you.
I don't think so. Not that many resources, but in the big picture, it all goes back to these students and who they're about to become.
They're going to have these experiences that enrich them personally, lead them to a life of service to their community, and enrich them civically.
Even if those experiences include a memorable ride in a golf cart.
I don't think I'm supposed to be on the sidewalk, but...
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah, the police won't.
Police can just arrest you.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't think that's going to happen. Chancellor Gilliam says to expect a decision sooner than later on the Aycock Auditorium name change, and the university is currently in talks with the city of Greensboro regarding its continued use of the Coliseum. Now, as far as funding, he says the university is still waiting to see how much money it'll get from the most recently passed state budget, But he is looking forward to state voters passing a $2 billion bond package next March. And if that happens, UNCG would get $105 million for its nursing school.